Video number 4. If this little length right here is a minus b, once you chop off this piece and slide it around over here, then this length right here is a minus b. Oops, I'm sorry. There we go. So they slid that over. This length here is going to be a plus b, and this length here is a minus b. The new arrangement is a rectangle with a length of a plus b and a width of a minus b. The area is a plus b and a minus b. I still don't understand where they're coming up with this right here. That part's not right. Yeah, stick with me here. Stick with me here. So, they're telling you that a plus b times the quantity a minus b is a squared minus b squared. A binomial of that form is called a difference of two squares. So I'm going to pop up here what I want you guys to write down. Difference, yeah, because what they just did is a little bit confusing. Difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. If you have a plus b and you multiply it by a minus b, let's use FOIL and see what you get. When I multiply my front two terms together, what do you get? A squared. When you multiply your outside two terms, what do you get? You get what? Negative AB. When you multiply your inside two terms, what do you get? Positive AB. When you multiply your last two terms together, what do you get? When you combine like terms right here, what happens? Yeah, they cancel out, and your answer is a squared minus, oh, and yeah, that should be, yeah, those cancel out, a squared minus b squared. Let's use an example. X plus 2, x minus 2. When you multiply your front two terms together, what do you get? When you multiply your outside two terms together, what do you get? When you multiply your inside two terms. When you multiply your last two terms together. What happens when you combine like terms right here? The reason they call this a difference of two squares is, isn't this a perfect square right here? And isn't this a perfect square right here? And aren't you taking the difference of both of them? Difference of two squares. This is the one that you really need to recognize. So in chapter 8, when I give you this as an answer and I want the two factors, you know how to do that. That's what I'm going to ask you to do in chapter 8. I'm going to give you the answer and I want the two factors. Say again?
What was the answer to that?
What's the answer to what?
What are you trying to find
Right here, when we get to chapter 8, I'm going to give you this and ask you what are the two factors. I'm going to ask you to factor it. I'm going to ask you to work backwards, and if you recognize the difference of two squares, then you know that the answer has to be that. But let's not worry about that till chapter 8. Okay, this one right here, when you multiply your front two terms together, what do you get? When you multiply your outside two terms, what do you get? When you multiply your inside two terms, what do you get? When you multiply your last two terms. When you combine your two center-like terms, what do you get? Do you see the difference of two perfect squares there? What's being squared right here? And what is being squared right here? 4. Isn't that a difference of two